Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Tate gives Holly surprising advice after she fails to get Nicole to accept the truth again. Wednesday, March 27, 2024. Today on Days of Our Lives, Holly worries about her mom, Tate tries to process his feelings, Marlena advises Eric, and Jada blasts Stephanie. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. Marlena brings Eric's christening gown to the apartment for Jude. As they discuss the reception, Marlena gasps upon learning Eric accepted Nicole's offer to host it without talking to Sloane first. Marlena advises he be more sensitive to other people when it comes to his complicated relationship with Nicole. He's trying his best and urges his mother to stop worrying. She just wants him and Sloane to be happy. They move on to discussing Tate. Eric admits he thinks Holly's not telling the truth. At the Dimera mansion, Nicole tries to engage a sullen Holly, but she's upset Tate is still in the halfway house. She tells Nicole what happened on New Year's Eve wasn't his fault, but her own. Nicole assumes Holly's self-blaming to deal with trauma. Nicole she started to blame herself for not knowing what was going on with her own daughter. But Nicole knows Holly doesn't do drugs, so she blamed herself for no reason. She urges Holly to be kinder to herself and leaves to pick up things for the christening. Holly looks up the halfway house on her phone. In his room at the halfway house, Tate tries to process his feelings by journaling as instructed by his therapist. As he recounts what happened with Holly, he wonders if Matt seeing her might be a good thing. Maybe I don't need her in my life anymore. Stephanie meets Everett in the square to quit as the Spectator's PR firm. Everett understands why she wouldn't want to work with him directly and suggests she deal with Chad instead. He still doesn't understand what happened to him, but he realizes there are more gaps in his memory than he initially thought. For instance, he can't remember his father. Harris opens his door to Xander. "So you want to let me in?" the Scot glibly says, "or are you afraid I'm going to shoot you?" Once inside, Xander thanks the detective for helping him make bail. Harris states he couldn't ID his shooter, so the judge made the right call. Xander insists he's a changed man. Nothing's more important to him than being a good person for his daughter and the woman he loves. He's innocent. In the square, Stephanie recalls asking Everett about his father once, and he just zoned out. She figured it was a sensitive subject and never asked again. Everett reveals he's considering hypnotherapy, but he's scared of what might come up, especially since he's been told he's done terrible things. Stephanie suggests he could learn there was a mitigating factor and that he's a different person now. If that should be the case, Everett hems as he wonders if things could maybe work out for them. She knows he doesn't have a lot of people to lean on, so she won't disappear on him. But he knows where she's going with this. She says it's not impossible, and that they will figure it out when it's all said and done. "I'll take it," he tearfully says. He asks her not to give up on him and leaves. As Xander starts to leave, Harris offers him a glass of scotch. Harris believes Xander's innocent. He knows what it's like to be accused of doing something he didn't. He's guilty of plenty of things though, and is trying to turn over a new leaf. He gets the impression Xander is doing the same thing. Xander says he's done a lot of stupid things, but he wouldn't throw away everything he now has to shoot a cop he doesn't even know. Harris asks who would want to set him up. From the Dimera mansion, Holly calls the halfway house. Adopting a haughty tone, she asks to speak to Tate as his mother. When Tate takes the call on a community phone, Holly tells him how bad she feels this is happening to him. Tate points out there's something she can do about it. Holly worries if Nicole knew the truth, she would fall apart like she did after losing her baby. Tate understands that she's not being selfish and is just trying to protect her mom. He suggests she never tell the truth, just take care of your mom. Everett bumps into Marlena in the park. He relays how afraid he is of what might come up in hypnotherapy. Marlena counters that not knowing could be worse and assures him she'll be there every step of the way. He promises to be at their next session. In the square, Stephanie stops Jada, who tries to breeze past her. As victims of Everett's lies, Stephanie asks if they can talk about it. Jada exclaims she's the one who was cheated on, while Stephanie was the other woman who helped break up her marriage. A stunned Stephanie points out she didn't know Everett was married. Jada muses she had to have suspected there was a reason she never met his friends or parents. Maybe she didn't do any digging so as not to screw up her perfect life. Stephanie blasts Jada, who remains accusatory and stalks away. Nicole lights a candle in the church and starts to pray as Eric enters. He's there to finalize the christening details. She explains she's been talking to God a lot lately after everything she's been through. Unfortunately, she hasn't heard anything from him yet. Eric suggests she keep listening. He confesses that he eavesdropped on her and Sloane. He was worried they weren't getting along, but it did his heart good to see her help Sloane calm Jude. He wants her to know how much her friendship means to him. An emotional Nicole shares the sentiment. In Harris' room, Xander claims there are a number of people in Salem who would love to do him in. With EJ at the top of the list, he assumed it was him. But he doesn't know why EJ would want to do in Harris. Xander points out Harris is the only eyewitness. Are you sure you don't remember anything at all? Harris insists he doesn't, but even if he did, he wouldn't tell the prime suspect. However, he will do everything in his power to clear Xander's name. He just has to be patient. Stay tuned and subscribe our channel to get such latest news.